Life.
Hello! Hello, everybody, and welcome to our, what day is this?
Tuesday.
It's our Tuesday show at noon. And today we're going to be talking about artists that are not ceramic artists. And why? Because we have a couple of them. And in particular, we're going to lead off with talking about our fiber artists, the latest works that have come in by Nancy Latchford, who has been, during isolation, sitting at home. It's the only way that we've really gotten a large body of work from her, because she is stuck in her apartment and she has been working diligently, dyeing wool, making baskets, doing things that we are always pressuring her to do, but this time she's doing it in isolation. And leading off that, of course, as everybody knows, June is Pride Month. It's not going to be a particularly exciting one for us because everything has been cancelled. But I thought that we'd lead off. This is actually from, I have one as well. This is from Brian's collection. This is from this was part of an installation for World Pride in 2016. The artist is Iain Downie from Toronto, formerly of London. And these, there were 360 of these, 360 sets of 6, so as you can see, in all the Pride colors. I'm very pleased that Stephen and I also have one. Ours is at home. Brian is here. But you can just imagine that this is a lot of work. And this was exhibited in the Barbara Hall Park next to 519 on Church Street in Toronto, the heart of the gay ghetto, and it was exhibited there, as I was saying, during World Pride. And then Nancy, who has just completed this grouping of boxes, these lidded boxes, and this one, when she sent me a picture of it, I thought, well, I've got to have this. I mean, what better way to start off Pride Month than by acquiring a, actually it's kind of neat because you've got 6 sides, you've got 6, you've got 360. I just figured that out. And Nancy did this spontaneously and just created it. She was not thinking of Pride until I said, oh my God, Nancy, you didn't realize that those are all the Pride colors. So this is a wonderful sexagonal box, and what better thing to have for Pride than sex? So there you go. So that is that, and I don't think that was her intent when she was picking it out as a hexagonal. And now you've got these pieces here, and one of the ones that absolutely blew Brian and I away, look at this. I mean, this is absolutely extraordinary. The colors, this is done in wool. Nancy doesn't always work in wool, but she also, I mean, she dyed the wool. She did everything, and this is such a wonderful classic form. It's absolute, and my God, it's only 2 1/4. We should raise that. Anyway, it's really, really cool. The colors, the stitchery, as you can see, look at the regularity of the stitchery. I mean, when it comes to attention to detail, Nancy is bloody wonderful. Yeah, and Nancy, by the way, I've been showing Nancy now for, as Brian pointed out, 18 years. So she's finally legal. And Brian, I've only been showing 17 years, but it's his birthday on Sunday, so that'll take it up. But I think you remember that talks and talks ago, I mentioned a piece that about 18 years ago that we'd had in the shop for a couple of years, and then somebody came in at 11 o'clock and bought it, and then at 11:15 somebody came in who had been looking at it for a couple of years, and it was already gone. So that's how things can happen. Because I think you can remember me talking about this is the deconstructed mason jar. This is currently, and not currently, it is in Brian's collection because he just felt that he had to have it. It's really nice when you have an employee who directs all of his income into supporting the gallery, which I hope some of you will do as well, because these are the times. But look at these, I mean, the forms and everything. And again, what's really cool is the stitchery, the beautiful wool. And Nancy has dyed the wool on her own little veranda overlooking the street. And yeah, the forms are wonderful. And by the way, doing a lid for something is really, really, and you know, anybody, we can have a second one made, it's all right. But these are really, really cool. And her work is fabulous. But, oh, and this one, now this piece, look at the color. I love this color palette. And when Nancy brought it in, There is a lid for it, but I don't know if it was just my mind working, but I figured her lid needed a knob. So she's taken that home to fix, and it will be coming back. So this will be a lidded, knobbed vessel. But talking about Nancy, then we go on to our another artist that we show, and that is Doug Magrath. Doug Magrath is he's an extraordinarily talented wood turner. Just to give you a little background on Doug, Doug was studying at university, threw it in to become a ski bum out west. Then after spending a couple of years as a ski bum out west, he decided that it was time to actually go and get an education, and he became a chartered accountant, which is as boring as couldn't be. Oh my God, Dina, I'm so sorry. But anyway, after dealing with numbers, he decided that instead he would really follow his first love, and he is an absolutely kick-ass wood turner. And today, if you can look at all this slight debris, which we have left artistically positioned. So today, Doug brought a bunch of a selection for us, and we are going to talk about Doug's work and the pieces and the wood, and we're going to start with, look at this. Isn't this incredible? Now, Doug's wife, Wendy, has no idea that I have this here at the moment, but this is a piece that was exhibited in the United States at an exhibition, and the juror, who was a very famous American woodturner, was wandering around and saw that and said, "Oh my God," he said, "that's a real," and I've spoken about this piece before, but I didn't have it. Now I've got it right in my hand. I actually thought it was a little bigger, and it doesn't come with batteries, but anyway, the thing is that this is, look at that. Isn't that a beautiful egg? And look, really zoom in there. Isn't that fabulous? Absolutely fabulous. There we go. Now that blush inside, that blush is because this is if I screw up on turning this back in, I will never hear the end of it, and neither will Doug. Okay, so the egg is back together, but this wood is pink ivory wood from Africa, and I have mentioned it before because we had 4 of these pink ivory wood bowls. As a matter of fact, one of them is in transit at the moment to Nova Scotia, and odds are the person who bought it is currently watching this. So we have 1 left of the pink ivory bowls. And now this wood is really, really rare. As a matter of fact, it is totally illegal now to export it. Doug didn't smuggle it in. He had this block of wood for about 20 years, and it is pretty cool. This was actually turned in 1117. Which is November 17, 2017. But anyway, the other ones are gone. This is the prize-winning piece, and
which is not for sale.
Which is not for sale, by the way, because as I say, Wendy doesn't even know it's here. And if she's watching this, don't worry, Wendy, I'm taking really good care of it. You know. So there is that. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put it over on Brian's desk, because then I won't damage it. But Doug is going to be working on some boxes for us. This is another, again, don't get your heart out, but this is another box that he's made.
Prototype stage.
He's put a liner in it of a different wood, and this is an extraordinarily rare, and if I could read it, this is an extraordinary, but anyway, this is extraordinarily rare.
African blackwood or something.
African blackwood. Actually, I have at home a 4-poster bed, which is from about 1820, and it is in rosewood, and we're actually giving the bed to Doug, and he's going to be turning some boxes out of it, so watch for those. But for the moment, here is one of his boxes. And I mean, the whole thing, can you imagine, like, when you're threading, look at that. We have had Doug's boxes before, like that's a long thread. And there you go. So if you're looking for a place to put your jewels, the family jewels, there you go.
We'll post them on Instagram when they arrive.
If those are the only family jewels that you have, you really need to switch partners. But we might even have bigger ones. But anyway, what's really cool is look at these pieces and look at the variations and of course and the forms. When we were oohing and eyeing as these were unpacked about an hour ago, so we're seeing them for the first time as well. But this is extraordinary. So this is the heartwood here, and then it goes out to the sapwood, and then this darkness that you see there, that's actually the spalting. The spalting is sort of like a fungus. Don't worry, you're not going to catch anything. But the beauty of this is look how this umbers shades into that. I just thought I'd use a two-syllable word there when one will do. But isn't that absolutely beautiful? And you know,
you can smell the finish because he just finished them before he came.
Yeah, you can. Ooh. But yeah, beautiful, beautiful, and the form is spectacular. Now these pieces all came from the same block of wood. We're not likely to have any more because some woods really are rare. And what Doug has been doing is he's been going through his supply of wood. Some of these have been kiln dried, some of them have been air dried. But what becomes interesting with this one was actually, this one got turned while it was still kind of green and before it totally dried. And that was done on purpose. He wasn't just screwing up. But so when you run your hand over it, it has this wonderful texture, almost like, I don't know, like leather or something. But it's absolutely beautiful. And this one is a, oh God, look at that, eh? This is sugar maple. So this is actually, you know, all these trees that we've got running around, well, they're not running around, they're pretty well rooted, well, except for this one. But look at that, the colors and everything. It's just absolutely, absolutely beautiful. So these are pieces that Doug has kept the wood because it was really nice show wood. And now that he's getting out of this, he did for years a lot of salad bowls and wood mills and all that. So now that he's, how do I put this gently? Now that he's older, he's
semi-retired.
Semi-retired. So he decided that he was going to have fun, and as you can see, he really has had fun. Now, this, for example, this is an extraordinarily beautiful turn bowl, and here, you know, the natural holes that are there. We actually had a really big one of this, and the person that I sold it to, because I'm so good at upselling, I actually sold them a Pat Weber owl, and the owl sat in the tree and peeked out. So if you've got like a nice little owl, and if you don't, we can sell you one, or maybe a Beanie Baby if you're into that, but. It's just a gorgeously turned wood, and this is also a sugar maple burl.
How Canadian.
You know, and yeah, you can't get more Canadian than that. But the really interesting thing, remember that with these holes, when that blade is going around, if you don't know what you're doing, or if your blade is really, really sharp, when you hit this in the hands of somebody less experienced, that's a good way to rip off your arm. So Doug still has two arms, so he obviously knows what he's doing, and the finish is absolutely beautiful. You know, so when you're looking out at your sugar maples and everything, and look, this here, little mark here, I have a funny feeling that's where the little spigot went in, you know, for the sap to run out. I know at home I've got a cutting board and it has some of those little holes, and that's exactly what it's from, but my cutting board is nowhere near as nice as this. Besides, I couldn't cut anything on that. But yeah, so you've got these really, and then you have, now this is a very, very rare piece of wood. Is this the one that's illegal? What's the illegal one?
I think this one.
No, I don't think that's illegal. And not that they've done anything wrong. I mean, there's just certain woods that, because he had old stock...
you could get before, but you can't get
and
now.
You know what's really cool? He was telling us a story. And the story revolved around acquiring really interesting woods. And, you know, just as you've got chicanery in the diamond market and in the gold market, and I remember the guy that was thrown out of the helicopter. Well, it can happen in the wood market too, but that's a story for another time when he writes his memoirs. So there you go, but absolutely beautiful. Anybody who's got a mid-century modern home, this is like absolutely pivotal to and it's only $450. And again, this is really, really rare wood. So it's not just the forms that are interesting and exciting. And, you know, and Doug likes to play with forms. And then this bowl here, for example, which is a nice place to put your nuts. Or you can put the nuts there if you've got a lot of nuts.
A great birthday gift.
Great birthday gift. Are you hinting, Brian? Oh, you are hinting. No. Anyway, so here you've got this, but this came from that. Okay, so it's really interesting when you see pieces that hold together, and so that's why we're keeping them together, because if it was good enough for the number of years that was together, let's keep it together. Now this one, where the heck is it? I think it's this one.
Those are the same wood.
Oh, it's the same wood. Yeah, so this, where's the big one? Was that the big one? Okay, so remember, this was actually underground, and then there was a fire, and then we've had other pieces of the, God, I got to check here. This is the Manzanita burrow. So this was underground, and this is where so the wood is absolutely incredibly beautiful. And, you know, his finishing is...
And that's rare wood, too.
Yeah, well, all of these are really rare. Well, the sugar maple, I mean, obviously, sugar maple is not rare wood, but the figuring that you're seeing here and the creative way in which he's worked with the forms is all pretty good. I mean, just absolutely beautiful. So if you're looking for something fantastic to go with your incredible ceramic collection that we've been helping you put together, then get yourself a piece of wood. And don't forget to get a piece of fiber too. But look at this. Look at the way the sapwood here, and then the root wood. It's just, and the colors, you know, and it's also this is my creative way of just showing you the price very gently. But look at that. It's absolutely, and it's got like this little pinky shade, and then the raw edge, which is quite sharp. So keep that out of the hands of 2-year-olds. And then here, this is again. This one is not for sale, but this is an example of things. These are things that are to come. But isn't that beautiful? Yeah. Now, you know, one of the things that Brian pointed out. Look at the decoration. Look at the way isn't that fabulous? And look at this. Isn't that wonderful? Do you know how long it took us to put the glaze on like that to match that? No, actually, seriously. This is by Roger Kerslake, and that is by, well, actually, the turning's by Doug, the wood's by God. But anyway, it's really, and this is, again, this is sugar maple. But look at the you know, he works beautifully with the grain, and you've got this fabulous, it's just like rising up this power. And as Brian pointed out, you know, that little thing, things that are reminiscent. For any of you who remember Joanne Kopp's work, her absolutely beautiful bowls with these little pieces like that would come out. But this is, again, these are really, really spectacular art pieces. And here, Doug was quite excited about, my hair. Ugh, tastes terrible. Okay, so look at this. This is like the center of the bowl, and the way, the way it radiates out. And again, this is this is another sugar maple. And again, there you go. But so this may have come out of there. Actually, I would say that it did come out of there. It did. So that came out of there, and it's just wonderful. They're really, and I really, when he opened these up, the way that the heartwood goes to the sapwood and the spalting, these are absolutely exquisite. And, just as, when a ceramic artist glazes and then when it's in the kiln and then you have wonderful things happen. Well, similarly, he's working with wonderful things, and then he makes sure that the grains and everything are showing off to their best advantage, and that certainly happened here. And also, they're very nice and tactile. And what we like about wood too is a lot easier to ship than ceramic. But don't let that put you off from ordering ceramic. So there we've got that, and then we have here that bowl down there. This is beautiful. This is a raw edge bowl, and what Doug does to ensure that the raw edge actually remains on the bowl is that there's a point at which when he's turning, that which he calls rough turning, where he'll stop and then he'll put in here, he'll infuse it with a glue, and so that then he'll continue. So otherwise what would happen is that you would have over time, you could possibly have separation. Because remember, wood, even when it's cut from the tree, it's living matter. But look at that. Yeah, here we've got, let me see, is that Asia? Yeah, but yeah, the grains are wonderful. And this, oh my God, this is maple. This one is maple burl at all. And you know what's really nice is that Doug actually dates things. So this was done in February of 2019. I don't know why the hell we didn't have it last year.
It may not have been finished.
You got that? No, because when he finished it, he would have put the date. He puts the date on when he finishes, not when he starts.
I think sometimes he does it.
How can we work that to our best advantage? So this was...
He probably turned it, but probably didn't finish it until...
But I don't think he went during the rough turning.
Doug, you're going to have to fix this for us.
Yeah, so Doug, we're going to have to ask you. So anyway, this was done in February of 2019, but isn't that beautiful? And you know, what's really nice with this, you could put some balls in there. Like you can keep your nuts there, but your balls here.
A great centerpiece on a dining room table.
Great centerpiece. It's absolutely beautiful. And what's really nice is that this is sitting on the table. You've got this nice dark edge, and then you've got this wonderful center that really, like look at that against the dark. Forget about the cheap chair. But anyways, that's really cool. And then, where's the butterfly? Oh yeah, so then we've got these shallow ones, and here's the butterfly wing. Look at that. Isn't that? There's the butterfly wing. And I don't know what happened to the other half of the butterfly, but anyway, it's just, oh look, now it's a moth. But it's, look, I just get so excited about the grain, and this is, I didn't know sugar maple could be so interesting. So this is also sugar maple, and then here you've got, this has got to be curly maple. This is a big leaf maple burl, and this actually, they are sold separately. But if you were interested in, if this is my mother again, I'm really gonna, she's got it. It is! Mom, I'm on the air. You're about to get credits, I think, on these programs. Call you later. That's okay, that's all right. People love hearing you. Okay? So is all good? Oh, okay. No, I'll call you back later. I'm sorry I missed yesterday. I don't know what I was doing. Probably having too much wine. Okay, Mom, call you later. Love you. Bye-bye. That was my mother. I think she plans these things so that she now has witnesses that I said I would call later. Okay, and that's my mother. Anyway, is this from the same tree?
I don't know.
Yeah, well, we should have asked him. Anyway, so this is a beautiful, beautiful form, wonderful vessel. The markings are incredible, and yeah, it's really beautiful. And I'm sorry, I got thrown there with Mum. This is also, this is not part of the stock. This is Brian collecting to decorate his new home with.
No, not for me. They're for other people.
For other people, yes. Of course, he's denying that. It's like, oh yeah. Okay, look.
That's the bottom piece for the other two. That's right.
This is the bottom piece for those?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the bottom for those. So if anybody's looking to keep together a family.
Be a great gift.
Great gift. And there you go. But look at the grain. It's absolutely beautiful. So here we've got two fabulous artists. Nancy Latch, and this piece, by the way,
stunning, absolutely stunning.
I love this. I love the color.
You can feel how tight it's wound. The by tapping it.
So this it's just beautifully tight because you see it's firm, and if she wasn't tight when you hit that, it would sort of like indent, and it's not. So Nancy has made sure that her vessel is tight, And her lid just sits on there. And if you lose the lid, don't worry, because it still looks good. But there you go. That's that. And I love these little bullet shapes. You know, and okay, I've just been corrected there. And the little leaf on top. So there you go. And here you've got the little squigglies. Anyway, so that's it for today. We're here. Feel free to call if you've got any questions, if you need to see anything closer, if you need to pick out gifts for your next wedding, yourself, your wife, your husband, your spouse, anyway. Thanks it.